I've been thinking, what if there were some basic principles for parenting? Something like follow these and you'll be fine.
That's an interesting starting point. Where would you begin?
Well, take Montessori education. It aims for whole personality development, right? But not everyone who goes through it achieves that, and plenty of people develop beautifully without it. Let's start by sorting this out and derive the necessary and sufficient conditions for the development of the whole personality.
I created a simple chart to visualize this. 4 quadrants showing Montessori education versus whole personality development.
Looking at this figure, it's clear that Montessori education is not the necessary and sufficient condition for cultivating the whole personality.
It's fascinating to think about people who developed beautifully without Montessori. Who are they? Maybe children who spent lots of time in nature, using all of their senses? People often fixate on Montessori materials, the pink tower, the golden beads. But this shows something important. The materials aren't essential. They're not what really matters.
I think the necessary and sufficient condition for developing the whole personality is simple. Develop the brain in a healthy way.
That makes perfect sense. When you look at what works in Montessori education, it's exactly the things neuroscience tells us are good for brain development. The connection is clear.
In other words, if we list what's good and bad for the brain, we get a simple parenting guide. Follow these principles and you'll be fine.
I've actually summarized what helps and harms the brain. We'll share that next. From a Montessori perspective, it all makes perfect sense.
Neuroscience gives us even more insights for parenting. Take the homunculus, the brain's body map. Huge areas are devoted to hands and mouth. That tells us activities using hands and reading out loud are crucial for brain development.
Actually, the homunculus just got a major update from neuroscience. The discovery? Large brain areas are dedicated to integrated movements. Movements that combine different skills. This explains why everyday activities, especially cooking with children, are so powerful for development. Think about what happens when a child helps make dinner. They crack eggs using fine motor control, carry bowls using gross motor skills, measure flour, and taste the sauce engaging their senses. All these different types of movement happen simultaneously. That's exactly the kind of integration the developing brain needs.
Traditional Japanese arts are perfect examples too. Tea ceremony and ikebana, the art of Japanese flower arrangement, both require this kind of integration.
Absolutely. In tea ceremony, the host carries a heavy water jar, gross motor skills. They fold the silk purification cloth with precise, delicate movements, fine motor control. Guests bow and recite formal phrases like, "I humbly receive this tea," language and social protocol. Then there's the sensory richness, savoring tea from seasonal ceramics, tasting delicate sweets that balance the tea's bitterness, feeling the bull's warmth in your hands, listening to water boil. Every sense is engaged. The brain must integrate all these elements seamlessly. Exactly the kind of complex coordination that promotes healthy development.
Reading out loud works the similar way. Rapid, fluent reading activates multiple brain regions and enhances plasticity.
People picture Montessori classrooms as perfectly quiet, but we actually encourage reading poetry out loud. Your speed reading point is fascinating. Watch how children progress. They start sounding out letters slowly, ka, a, t, phonics pronunciation. Then they read whole words, cat. Eventually, full sentences flow smoothly. The cat sat on the mat. This progression mirrors brain development exactly. And here's the breakthrough. Pushing reading speed further actually accelerates brain development. It's not just comprehension, it's building neural efficiency.
Montessori education can feel overwhelming. So many rules, different interpretations, complex materials. It's tough for parents to implement at home. But here's the simple version. Do what's good for the brain, avoid what's harmful. That's really all you need to know.